going on? Yeah, I already know the big shoot it. Played on the podcast. Got an interview with Miss T today, real talk. Am I live? Can you hear me? Little mama, what it do? I might got a paper for you, y'all, first, so I don't know. Can y'all see me? Can you hear me? I do have the air on. It's hot, y'all. Hot outside. So we just waiting on Miss Real Talk to come through. We gonna get it started like that. What's up, little mama? You get that hoodie yet? Get that hoodie, man. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the subscribers. You know, but I gave you the tracking information, so hopefully it gets to you soon. Just waiting on this real talk to jump in, and there you go. We can see. So hold on. Okay. Yeah, it's the app. It's the app. I got the air conditioning going, y'all. I got this personal done right here. Yeah, I got a gift. Let me see where she is. One gift. Oh, there she goes. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing, Miss Real Talk?
Great. How about you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Thanks for coming to the platform and deciding to do an interview with me.
No problem. Somebody said he been asked you for an interview. I was like, really? I be forgetting. If you did, hey, I would have been did. I probably didn't see it or forgot or something like that. My time, you know how that is.
It's all good. I do understand. I do understand. Well, you want to get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Like I said, welcome to the platform. I wrote it down. So, of course, you're from Memphis. So, shout out to coming to the platform. Bloggers coming together to create, and so thank you. So, what part of Memphis are you from? In real talk, if you don't mind me asking.
Okay, from South Memphis. I grew up in. I'm sure you're familiar with it because you're from South Memphis too. I grew up until I was like 13 in Clementine. They torn their apartments down. Now, remember that I went to Norris Elementary. Like we moved right before I was able to go to Corey. I was so depressed. Like all of my friends left behind, and my cousins, and a lot of them still live up that way. I was always up like around off of South Parkway, around Taylor, Bulletin, and Roanoke.
Okay, okay, okay. So, what was early childhood like? Was it it's like a two part. Was it single parent, two parents, or
It was like I guess a single parent because my mother was a teenage mom. So her and my dad were like high school sweethearts. But they never married, right? But my dad was always very present. But I was mainly raised by my mom and my grandmother. You know, um, yeah, I was raised by my mom and my grandmother, but my dad was very present. I went and spent summers and stuff with my dad and my other sisters.
Okay, so let me ask you. I ain't know that part. So, what was that like? Basically, A split household. How was it like? Was it
It was
difficult
cool.
growing up?
It was actually cool because my dad was strict. My mom and my grandma had me rotten. So even though I like going being with my other sisters in the summertime, growing up, hey, it was more like it was weird because my sisters and them, I think they kind of thought I was I don't know, this radical because my mom, I was, how when you're raised differently, my dad was in from the military, so like he had a lot. I wouldn't say that it wasn't structured at my house, but he was stricter. And so my sisters and them, I always say like we're kind of different. I'm talking about my sisters that was raised by my dad's wife. um it was kind of like military style, and they would be looking at me with their mouth open when my dad would say something, and then I would challenge him. Okay, well, I was taught that, hey, if you want to know something, somebody says something, you ask questions. They didn't do that, so they was like, oh my, you said something after dad said do this. I'm like, but I want to know why.
So in the early age, you was already talking back, huh?
I was already talking back. Lord have mercy. I always talk back. I got whoopings. My mama would whoop me sometimes for talking back.
Did you grow up in the church?
I did. I grew up in the church. That was a church because, growing up in the hood, like especially early on, I mean, we had cars, but it would always be a car off of the yard. But I see now those probably are the best cars, even now. Go get a car from an old white person. It don't have no
Mm-hmm.
mileage and stuff on it. But we went to New Harvest. That was like right behind that was like right behind Clementine. And it was everybody could walk there. So everybody in the projects went to that church. Hmm.
So let me ask you
Those
this:
were the best days growing up in
it
the
was.
project. Yeah. Oh
Why
my
would you say
God.
that?
It
Why
was
would
more
you say that?
family. It was more family orientated because even though we was in the projects, like we didn't really know that we was poor. Like even the street dudes, they didn't do certain things in front of us. If they was selling drugs, it was crack rocks, and then crack rocks or whatever had mainly just they had mainly just started selling. They would always tell us to go back around to the front of the apartment, or they would go like somewhere else. It's a lot of stuff that they didn't do in front of us, and they dare not let somebody come over there and do anything to any of the kids that was in the projects.
Well, you kind of just answer like three of my next questions, because I was gonna ask you, um, would you say that you grew up in the late '80s or the early '90s, like your
Like
teenage years?
my teenage years was in the early, like in the 90s, the early 90s, but like 10, 11, all of that, 8, 9, all of that, because I was born in like 79. So you already know, I remember the 80s. See, I'm a lot older than you are because what, you was born in the 90s?
The late '80s.
Oh, okay.
So, so what was the '80s like then? I mean, it was more. You said it was more family oriented. They didn't they kind of shield y'all from the crime and stuff that was going on, right?
Yeah, they shielded us from the crime. People was more respectful. I remember my cousins who was out in the street, like when they would drive by a church, they would turn, if we was listening to like rap music and stuff, they would turn the rap music down, like showing respect to the church. I was thinking about that the other day. Like the neighbors, um the neighbors could tell you to stop doing something and then go tell your mother, and your mother wouldn't get mad, and vice versa. It was just like people looked out for each other then. It was more like a family thing. That's the reasons why now, even now, when I start seeing some of the people in Clementine that I hadn't seen in like 30 years or whatever, and their Facebook pages start popping up and I start seeing them now, it's like it's always emotional. Like, oh God, I remember people think growing up in the projects, um, you was, I guess, busted and disgusted, but as kids, I mean, it was more fun to me.
So let me ask you this then. When you think that shift, like that, that family oriented, it just how it is to where we really don't move. Hold on. First of all, let me ask you this: growing up, what was the dynamic between the whites and the blacks?
I'm gonna be honest with you, like, the dynamics was, I still think that black people kind of put white people on a pedestal, because I remember like this black guy was living in the projects, but he had like a white girlfriend, and they had a mixed child. And I think because we didn't know any better, and even the older people, because of what they were taught, it's like, oh my God, he got a white woman, like they almost like they were in awe. And look at that little mixed girl, she's got all that beautiful hair. Um, it's just weird. I still think about that, like how we were taught that that anything outside of us was better. So people were kind of in awe of, when we saw, because we didn't see a lot of white people like that integrated with us. Um, it was weird. We still had that mentality that anything closer to white is better. It's sad. A lot of people may not want to admit it, but I'm gonna tell the truth about it.
You know what? It's funny you say that because growing up, I got a cousin, and it's a cousin that I'm fond of too, though. She like one of my big cousins that raised me. She a little older than you, and
Mhm.
and when I used to growing up, I used to like on the. I guess it was the verbiage I used. I was like, I told her I only dated light skinned women. She was
Mhm.
like, what? What's wrong with you? You color struck. She felt some type of way about that because she not light skinned and how I was talking. And she was like, watch, when you get up, your woman ain't gonna be no light skinned woman. But it's funny that you said that though.
Mhm. It was that
Okay, so
mentality, like the closer you are, it's funny though, because you think about, and a lot of people from Louisiana, no disrespect to them, they may not want to admit it, but I know the actress Lynn Whitfield,
I'm
and
from Louisiana.
you're from, okay. So Lynn Whitfield is from the Baton Rouge area. I dated this guy
That's
like
what I'm
right
from.
after Katrina, that was from Baton Rouge, like, but it wasn't Baton Rouge, it was like
Baker,
Plaquemine,
Hammond.
like Bayou or something. That was it, because it was a one street town, but it has the 225 area code. You go over the bridge, it's like right outside of Baton Rouge.
He
And
probably was in Baker or Hammond or somewhere.
okay, and Lynn Whitfield talked about how growing up in Baton Rouge, that with her family, always was talking about how they had to run dark skinned guys boys off. And she said, even when this was years ago when she did the interview with Oprah, she was like, even now, my aunts are talking about how I had to run this one off because you had to pass the paper brown, paper brown bag type skin tone. Like if you was darker than the paper brown bag, um, then they was running you off. But the closer you are to white, the better you are. And it's a lot of people from Louisiana that is definitely still very much color struck. Closer you are to white, the better you are. But that's just kind of what
I
they
was
was
one
taught.
of them. I grew out of it. I grew out of it. So okay, well let me ask you this then. So when do you think we going back to Memphis with it, though? We gonna back up off Louisiana. We gonna go back to South Memphis
Okay.
with it. When do you think it shifted though? You know what I'm saying? As far as it being more family oriented from the '80s to kind of every man for itself. I don't give a fuck about my brother, or I don't give a fuck about the neighbor who used to be in the window and watching out for everybody. We just gonna do our thing.
I think this was engineered. Of course, they've been working on doing this for a long time. If I could start in the 80s and go back, I think when crack came in, it was inserted into our community. It started to break up the structure of the especially the black family. You have the only thing that saved. You think about what young Dolph said when he says that I was a crack baby. What the reason young Dolph, no disrespect to his parents, but he spoke about that, and they're doing really good now. But we had grandmothers who were not on that at that time, right? We had grandmothers that when the parents, hey, when the parents, got on drugs back then in the 80s, so then the kids would be shifted to the grandparents who would then raise the children in a like a Christian home or something like that. So they still had grandparents who were not a part of that whole culture that was able to raise the kids, right? And Diane said everybody loves chocolate. Okay, because
I said
I'm that dark
I
chocolate.
said I grew out of
Um
protect.
you
Go
you
ahead.
you I was going to say you kind of going in and out a little bit. But I started to see a shift probably like around, I don't know, 2000. It was a little better, but it just started going downhill. By 2005, that was it. And I truly believe it was engineered. I think it was you started seeing them anytime they want to stop. Anytime they want to start anytime they want to start promoting stuff in our community, what they would do is go get an African American celebrity and put them in front of the TV or make them famous so that they can perpetuate a certain thing. Like I was talking about, like this, like the drill music. I'll take my own mama out. I'll take my own cousin out. I know a lot of people like Kevin Gates. Okay, and hey, I think Kevin Gates is he went through a phase where I think even he wanted to do right. But I remember when Kevin Gates first came out, I don't know who was putting money behind him, and I still like Kevin Gates. He started talking about, you have to watch when celebrities that have a big platform start talking about a certain thing, and they start promoting that. When he was like, he was dating his cousin, when they start doing stuff like that, there are people who are funding them that want to promote and perpetuate a thing like incest, like peeing on somebody, getting the whole culture, peeing on top of somebody's head is cool, robbing and killing folks. Like, I think after around 2005, it just kind of went all the way downhill.
Back.
Mm-hmm.
Let me take a pause for the cause and say, hey to the members, to the subscribers, Miss Muffin, 420, Guala, I see you on here, Yo Money. Hey, I am she. Miss Brown, I ain't mean no harm. Please, I ain't mean no harm. How you doing, Lady V? Kenny Adams, the real T, uh, Ramona Rice, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? King Lil J, what it do? Okay, I got a question, a different question.
Okay.
Okay, we from Memphis, right? And
Right.
uh, so what does the death of Dr. Martin Luther King mean to you as a Memphis? Being though he was murdered here, and it's like, shit, we ain't living up to the dream.
That's true. I'm so glad you asked that question because I don't know if you ever listened to. I'm sure you do, Minister Farrakhan. You listened
Yeah,
to some of his. I just happened to run across a sermon yesterday, and I always say this that he did years ago, and he was like they wanted to reduce Dr. King to being a dreamer, but he wasn't a dreamer. He was a
I heard
he
this.
yeah, woke up right. Um, him dying in Memphis, it just it you have to understand that Tennessee is still in the South, and a lot of people will try to say that it's better. They'll try to promote that. I'm talking about as it relates to anywhere, especially in the South. But I don't know if it's better or people because there are certain laws, people just kind of hide it. And my dad used to always say it's really worse because back then in his time, he said you knew why they was doing what they was doing to you. Now they hide it, and now they found a even they think an even better way to perpetuate stuff to create crimes against certain people that are different, which would be a lot of people that look like us. They go and get pay for as I always say, a bought out Negro and put them in a spot which is way more dangerous and get them to create laws and stuff like that, which would be our politicians. Um, and they'll get away with things that somebody of another race wouldn't get away with. So I think that is sad, especially with it being in Memphis, because you think about the blood stain and him dying in Memphis, and it's really and now he it's almost like he died for nothing because all you see now is more. Look at how our the younger generation now is just taking each other out. You don't even have to. They talk about police and stuff, but we have more black on black crimes than anything.
You would think, you would think the fact that Dr. King died here, and it's a monument here, it's part of history, tourism. You would think that people would kind of want to, well, at least our community would want to have like a better sense of 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 their history and to act right.
Have you ever been to the Civil Rights Museum? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, yes, yes, I have.
Don't you know, as of recently, like what last year, that car has been sitting out there in front of the Civil Rights Museum. You had some young people to go and vandalize the car. I guess they thought they was gonna steal it, break the windows out, try to vandalize it and steal out of it. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. No respect for nothing.
They don't never do elder shit like that.
Never. You couldn't pay
I
them
ain't
to do
never, I have never ever heard since I've been here. I don't think nothing really happened at Grayson.
No, you can't pay him to do it. Elvis, they claim me back there in the backyard. He still listen. I went into Elvis' house one time and on a tour with some people, and it's a lot of nice stuff in there. You can't pay them to go up in there and try to steal nothing. His airplane's still over there. A lot of his stuff is still out there.
Shit, the whole Elvis Presley still there. The whole strip street.
Yep, yep. They don't even go into those shops and try and steal nothing.
Right. Old ass shops. They still got the heartbreak hotels. Old ass shops. So okay. So check it out. At first, when I first called in to you, I just thought you was like a YouTuber. But then going back, I seen that you done really been in media. You done had your own talk show. How did you get into this? What? How did that come about? This passion for reporting, journalism. Like, where did that come from? Did you major in college or what?
Well, when I first started college, I majored in speech and theater. So then I got pregnant with my first baby when I was in college. And so my mom was like,
You were fast. Oh, you were fast. Okay.
yeah. So then my mama was like, I think you need to change your major to something what that could be more lucrative for you and the baby. Because where you can get you a job, because you're talking about you're gonna go to Hollywood and stuff. And but you need to get major in something where you can get you a job to take care of that baby. And so that's what I did. I changed my I first I changed it to psychology, and then I changed it to criminal law. And I don't even know why I did that. It was weird. I never knew why I did that. Changed it to it was just weird because I had never had any intentions or anything of getting into that. And so then one day, hey, I ended up, it was crazy how I ended up getting a job with the police department. And I remember telling my dad I had started getting more into talking about domestic violence and stuff like that, crimes against persons, missing children, missing Black children. And I saw where Thaddeus Matthews, honestly, was on TV. And I was like, dog, I told my dad, I was like, I sure would like to do a show to talk about missing children and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so this Black production company had just bought a network. I was like, dog, that's so awesome. But their prices was off the chain. But my dad was going to pay for it. But they started giving me the runaround. They started going up and up and up once they saw my dad was going to pay for it. And so my dad was like, why don't you figure out? He said, if they got a network, you can get a network. He was like, I'm going to retire in a few years and I want to start investing my money in some stuff. He said, why not my kids? He said, so if you could figure out how you can get a network and lay out the plan, I'll pay for everything. I'm telling you, it must have just been for me because it was so hard. I was like, dog, how do I figure out how to get to the execs at Comcast? And I kept trying and trying. And so one day, Thaddeus Matthews was on air and he got mad at the director of Comcast. And so he said the guy's name. I was like, oh, that's his name. I was working for the police department. I was like, I could look it up and get his information. But I ended up getting his son's information. And his son was like, no, that's not me. That's my dad. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you his phone number. He was so nice. So it took the guy 3 weeks to call me back. And so the guy called me back in 3 weeks. He's like, you want a network? I heard you left that on my phone. And I said, yeah. He was like, well, you're going to have to fill out about it. It's like 45 pages. You're going to need a lawyer and you're going to need $2 million worth of insurance. I mean, all that stuff. I was like, oh, Lord. But anyways, it just kind of fell in my lap. It happened. He was like, he said, as a matter of fact, I'll stay on the phone with you because that application is in lawyer's term. And because I think he was mad at Thaddeus. He said, so what I'll do is I'll tell you everything you need to put on that application because it has to be just right. And then I'm going to approve it as soon as you send it to me. And he stayed on the phone with me for 2 hours. I was sitting working at the sheriff's office and he told me everything to write. He told me what lawyers to go get. We had to pay for those. We got the insurance and my dad bought my dad, by that time, that company only had half of the time. My dad bought the other half. They ended up losing the time because they couldn't pay for it no more. My dad bought all of the time. And that's how that happened. So I started doing my show. Me and my dad was in business together. We started putting churches on. Other people started getting shows, started doing commercials. It was weird because I didn't know how to do that stuff. I had to go and get training on how to start doing commercials, editing. My dad bought me all the equipment. It was just for me, I guess. When something is for you, it just kind of falls in your lap.
So that leads into my next question then. So, okay, it started off as your mother, like you said, your mother telling you to change the profession, and then you did that, and your father y'all came up with like kind of like a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did it turn into a passion though? Because when I be listening to you talk, like I'm gonna get into the switch though from the TV show to like YouTube. But when did you realize that you had a passion for interviewing though, and just talking to people and discussing their problems, and just being in front of the camera, behind the camera? When did that happen?
Um, I was just kind of thrown in front of the camera, but my dad was an elected official. So he was like, well, I tell you what, in order to get a buzz on your TV show, I'm going to call all of my elected official friends and have them to be on the show. So he was sat there. He ended up getting me we ended up in a small studio and then went to a way bigger one that I'm in now. And so then he was like, I remember the first person he called, he sat there, he was like, I know what's going to get you attention on your TV show. I'm getting ready to call Judge Joe Brown. I know y'all remember him. So he called Judge Joe Brown. He's like, Judge Joe Brown, it's Rick. My daughter got a TV show now and I'm trying to build it. And I want to know if you'll come over here and be on the show. He was like, yeah. So he was there the next day. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. Like after that, a whole lot of other politicians started coming in, like Janice Fully Love, Henry Brooks, Jim Strickland, like everybody started coming through.
What you think about Judge O'Brien?
He was blunt. He was always blunt. He was funny. He was blunt and funny even then. And I remember when he walked in, there's a barbershop in the building that my studio is in. And the barbershop was full. All those guys started running out of there. They started running out because they saw him when he walked in. They couldn't believe it. He was real friendly. He about talked them to death. He was late. We was late getting on air because he was around there trying to talk.
Right. I like Judge O'Brien though.
Yeah, he cool people. I like Judge O'Brien too. He's funny. He is honest. I'm gonna tell you something. I know you remember because you lived in Louisiana. The rapper Mac, right? Because I got into doing, and I still am into doing it. Injustice shows. I know you know Mac. That was with No Limit.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Me and his family is so close. I know. Did you see the show that I did with him when he was in jail? Did you go back down there?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. I had Judge Joe Brown. I know you know Leslie Ballin.
Yes.
To come over to the studio. I think because what people don't know is when I put that show on YouTube, you had some producers to start calling, and they was and Mac's mother was like, there are producers calling, and they're interested in and put in that. It was like a domino effect. You started seeing them kind of talk more and more about, because they was trying to get Judge Joe Brown to come and do some commentating, but I guess they weren't trying to pay him right, those networks.
Right.
And yeah.
You think he would have been a good mayor for the city?
I think he would have been, as far as being hard on crime. He was always known that the judge, how he got that TV show, because he was known as the judge that if somebody broke into your house and burglarized your house, when they was caught, he allowed you to go into their house and take what you wanted out of their house. That's how he really became famous. He was known as that judge.
For real?
Yep. It caught the attention of the Hollywood producers.
Oh, girl, that's hard. So let me ask you this then: when did you become afraid of Memphis? Though? Like just uncomfortable in the city?
It's bad, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not even that uncomfortable. It's weird.
That
I'm cautious, as anybody would be cautious, because you have to be. I mean, that's just from looking over your shoulder for anybody, not just gangs, but just anybody. But I'll tell you something, like when I have to do cases and stuff, and I'm up in South Memphis, for some reason I'm always comfortable. Like one of my ex-boyfriends lived on Taylor, right next to, like 2 doors down from where Gangsta Black grew up at. Sometimes if I'm in that area, I see them standing out, I'll go right up that street. I don't have no issues or nothing, and sit and talk to them. No issues at all. I've always felt comfortable. My cousin and them still live on, one of them still lives on Bullington.
Gotcha.
But now when you start talking about going to the other side over there where Kansas Court and all, right. And like now I have to have my best friend Vanessa to go on the other side. I ain't gonna ride around that area like that.
I feel. So you really just go where you know, huh?
Right. I go where I know, and I'll go where I don't know, but I ain't gonna stop. Like if I have to ride around like Florida, around Macmillan, places like that, hey, I ain't gonna stop. I'm just somehow I just happen to ride through. I'm in that area. I ain't gonna stop unless I know somebody. You're right. So I go where I know somebody as far as that area, if I'm not familiar with it, because I never hung out really over there. I had a cousin that lived in Kansas Court years ago, but Kansas Court is closed down.
Right. So let me ask you this: why you think the city got such a dark cloud? Like it's a lot of tourists that people from that's not here. They be so ready to come here. Which Memphis still, it has a lot that you can do from a tourist standpoint. But why you think it's such a dark cloud on our city though? Like
at this point, I got to be honest. And hey, I know, I think crime was already building up, but I think when that happened to young Dolph, I saw a domino effect. Now you out in the street, you might say that it was already happening, but that's when we really saw the explosion. Like it's visible. That's what it seems like to me, because it started making, I think those young dudes started, I guess they started choosing, I don't know, but it became real bad.
Okay, I'm gonna get into that after this question then. So let me ask you this: why you think that? Because I remember you saying, like, when I listened to you on your platform, and even now, like you said, you work for the sheriff office, and I done heard you, being pro police also. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's some good cops, there's some bad cops out here. So I understand that too. But why you think the disconnect in Memphis, like between our police and the city, in the city? Because now more than ever, it's a whole lot of black officers out here though. Younger, older, you know what I'm saying? So why is it such a big disconnect?
You talking? Okay, I think it's for a lot of reasons. Okay, I think one of the reasons is because it was engineered. So if there's a disconnect, and you teach these young boys and these young girls that you don't have to comply, because see, I went through the academy. I know what they teach. So if you teach them that they don't have to comply, so if you have people that's making money off of crime, and especially off of the death of young black boys and girls, so well, I ain't gonna comply if an officer tell you take your hand out your pocket. They're taught in the academy to make sure, and that's why I wish people knew that. You know that when people talk to you, you should always be looking at their hands. They're not saying it to try and little boy you into little girl you. Uh, Even now, I get paranoid about people talking to me that I don't know with their hands in their pocket. They teach you that people should not stand behind you, right? You don't let anybody stand behind you. That's just what they're taught, is paramilitary style. So if these people know that. So you get George Soros, who's behind who's pro criminal, and he's behind. Be quiet. That
Did you
Black
fight
Lives,
dogs?
huh?
You fight dogs?
Do I fight what now?
You fight dogs?
I can't hear you. You said, are they
I
fighting
said,
dogs?
do you fight dogs over there?
No, no, no. Those are my little Yorkies. I need to sell
Uh,
them, but I'm attached to them.
your test on.
Yeah, I sold 2 of them and I cried for days. I can't do it no more.
So how many you have?
I got 3 left.
3 left.
I sold one the other day, and it hurt me so bad, it was ridiculous. But that's what people breed them for, to sell. So I'm weird. But if you tell these young dudes that they don't have to comply, and don't tell them what to do, because there are some bad officers out there that only take the job so that because they got their asses tore out the frame in school, and so now they want a job of authority and they want to mistreat people, right? So there are some like that. I never said that they were bad officers, but they have an agenda. Okay, so
I ain't mean to delete your comment. My bad.
So if you don't comply and you start acting up, these officers are just as afraid, right? They don't know what you're gonna do. So now you've done something that the suspect might not know that is a threat to the officer, whereas they could shoot you. But these people that's telling them you don't have to comply, just comply. And if they mistreat you, then be proactive. That's why I say there has to be leaders that are really proactive, and that's not BS. And everybody want to be a leader, but they don't want to do shit but be seen. There has to be something put in place, whereas when police officers pull you over and you already know they're doing you dirty, or you're a drug boy, instead of they taking your money from you, they got to take you to jail if they catch you in the act of doing something. They can't just take you because you're a known guy that sell weed, especially if you ain't, there's nothing suspicious, or they just having to see you. They can't be messing with you like that. They have to have probable cause.
Let me ask you this: where you at? So in every case where, like, I don't know, have you ever been, probably never been roughed up by the police or something like that, though? So let me ask you this: in some cases, right, I feel like police training be wrong too, though. So it's kind of hard to, let's just say the police got you and they the authority figure, but something ain't right. And you saying let a motherfucker cuff you, put you in a vulnerable state where it kind of makes you want to buck the system, because if they get you in that vulnerable state when they already roughing you up or bullshitting with you, it's kind of, so and then just like even with the rules they putting in place, Miss T, far as the body cam, they cutting them off, they getting off on with time. It's like, it's kind of like, I feel like it's a double-edged sword, really, though, because they done killed innocent people.
Yeah.
innocent black man. It's like it's kind of hard just to sit there and let a motherfucker buck you like this when you know how it's gonna go sometimes, especially when it start off on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm gonna tell you something that really hurt my spirit before I got out of prison. And I was in jail, and I seen this dude who was in the car with his daughter and his girlfriend, and the man reached for his license, and they shot dude. They shot him, and I was like, damn, that's what I'm coming home to. So how do you avoid that when they ask you for your license and you reach for them and they overreact and shoot you?
Over out of fear. And then I remember that, and the girl was like, "You shot my
You
boyfriend."
shot my yeah
And he was like, he
daughter
moved.
in the back.
That's what he was just plain in fear, and that officer got off. That's an injustice when he basically just killed him for doing, and she recorded it all. That I always
Saw
thought
another incident like that before I got out. It was a young dude. The police asked him to reach for his license, and the police just shot the car up, shot him in the elbow, the leg. He was like, "Man, you told me to," and he didn't really have no reasoning for it. That shit crazy. So
yeah, officers like that that's scared because they be scared when the guy started reaching for his license. You know, he asked him to give me. He should instead of shooting him, he should have said, "Why are you? My licenses are in here." But he was so scary. You have a lot of officers that's scary on the street, and they do crazy stuff like that, right? And so that's why
and he got off.
and then got off. And I'm gonna tell you why he got off. That's why it's important to make sure you you elect the right judges and stuff, right? That make sure that people like that don't get off.
So they go back to, like it's a lot of cases like that where we see, like, because of this social media, like, we see what's really going on. That
Mhm.
goes back to Rodney King when they did that to him. So we see what's going on. Like, a lot of us afraid of being pulled over by the police, whether we upstanding citizens, uh breaking the law, because you just really don't know what's on their mind.
That's true. You're right. You don't ever know what they're gonna do, especially if it's an asshole police officer. But what I was gonna say is that when you feel like something is wrong, and I know what you're saying, you fear being vulnerable. If you already feel like something is wrong, once they subdue you and they put the handcuffs on you, you can't defend yourself. I think that's what you were saying, right? If
Right.
they want to do something to you, that's why when they pull you over, and a lot of people don't do this. They should say call, and you have a right to say that. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor right now. If they don't do that, I think that's when people should, everybody have their phones and stuff with them, should then get on the phone and dial 911 and say, I fear that this officer is getting ready to do something to me, and tell them exactly where you at. I never said that all police officers was right. I just said that what we have to do is we have to be proactive when there are those that are not right. Um, Going and looting and rioting when a police officer, be quiet, when a police officer kills an innocent black man or innocent black woman. I mean, you go and you loot and you riot. What are you doing? You tearing up your own neighborhood, okay? And so then nothing changes. We're not demanding. Stop. Be quiet. We're not demanding that the laws, they change the laws. We're not demanding that the elected officials, we're not threatening their jobs, that they won't be reelected. So nothing changes.
I feel, I feel. I I'm one of them people. Like, I know the police need it, but I don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's a need for them also, and I ain't just really had too many bad experiences with the police. Like, I had one when I was with Moneybag Yo one at one point, but like, I ain't had a whole lot of bad experience with the police. Most of the time I be breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, smoking or some shit, some safe form of fashion. So, uh, should I be in the wrong? But I know they need it, like I said, but it's just with me. I feel like the bad done outweighed the good. You know what I'm saying? Especially when shit, the police ain't really out here helping nobody though. You know what I'm saying?
They're
They
not
ain't
doing
really
anything now. They're not doing anything at this point. You're right.
right. They ain't out here. They on shift. They on shift trying to man do what they do. They ain't out here helping. They ain't out here really trying to be proactive, like you say. Like we got to be proactive. They ain't out here really trying to be proactive. They only show up when it's too late. You know
Well,
what
what
I'm
people
saying?
need to understand is police are not lawmakers, right? They're law enforcers. A lot of times they show up. It's unfortunate after a crime has happened. They show up after. That it's sad, but that's how it is.
But when they from these communities, they should know what's going on and try to do better. Like it should be more than just a paycheck. Like when you become a police officer, and nowadays you should
Hmm.
become one with a purpose, not
Right.
just for a paycheck. So if you already, like I said, I see a whole lot of police officers that's black these days. They got tattoos up to here. So a lot of these people coming from the same areas we come from, but they not applying this shit like it's just a job to them. So if you coming from the same background I come from and you already know what's up, like you could do better than pulling down in the neighborhood, speaking to the kids. Like they used to have the DARE program when I grew up. Like
Hmm.
police officers actually used to pull down and see what we was doing and hey,
They
why
had
you
the coax.
outside? They don't do that shit no more.
They had the coax. They had officer friendly. When they started, like I said, a lot of this stuff is engineered. Like when they started, you get politicians that start cutting back on policing in the community and stuff. That hey, the community start to distrust the police, right? And then you have to understand now we're in an age where it's been promoted. Don't trust the police, and the worst thing you can do, you be better off taking your own mama out than snitching and telling to get somebody out of your community that is destroying your community. Hey, but I'm on it. I'm not in the street. To me, that's not the worst thing that you could do.
No,
See,
you're
my
right
my
though.
standpoint comes from, when I say I'm pro police, like it's a lot of stuff that I've seen because I worked for the police department for 18 years, okay? And even still doing investigative work. I do investigative work. I take contracts from the DA's office and criminal attorneys, right?
Mhm.
So if I that's a lot of stuff that I see that they cannot show on the news because of the privacy laws where children are being violated. You know what I mean? People don't know how sex crimes is loaded every day, even the part for children, because of how kids are violated. I'm talking about they flat out putting little babies and little girls and stuff, mothers and fathers and sickos. Mothers are selling their children, their daughters, their 5, 6 year old daughters to pay off their drug debt, stuff like that. That's why I said, yeah, we need the police here. But see, I be getting emotional and mad when I talk about stuff like that. But that's stuff that they cannot show on
Right.
the air.
But listen. I get what you're saying, but this is what I'm saying. Check this part out though. What I'm saying is when you take a job and you a police from the inner city right now, right? And
Right.
you already know what's going on in your city. So even if it's defunded, a lot of police ride around burning gas. A lot of them ride around burning gas. So while you burning gas, why not just go see what the kids doing? You know what I'm saying? Like it should
Right.
be personal to you to, so I feel like if a lot of police was actually doing it, actually going through like having a better relationship than other just pulling people over for bullshit reasons, uh, like that, like really respecting the taxpayer. The
Right.
people who really pay for, they don't respect the taxpayer. That's what I'm saying. It goes back to that. The police don't respect the community in itself though. Because if they did, they would go above and beyond their way to have a better relationship with the people who actually pay for them. And that's why coming through the neighborhood. It's nothing to ride through the neighborhood. Just the presence of the good police
I
will make
agree.
people feel better. You see what
I,
I'm saying? They're not
I
doing this shit at
agree.
all.
I agree with you.
So that's
They try to say that there's a shortage of police officers, and what you have to understand now, because see, I don't know a lot of these younger officers that they're putting on the street. The only thing I know is that a lot of them have gang affiliations because they pretty much putting any and everything on the street to try and fill the gap, because you have a lot of the old heads that are actually experienced. They quitting. You have a lot of good officers because of the how stringent they are on good officers that want to police. That's just going now, because once you go when you work, when you're a police officer, they pay 100% for your schooling. They go become a police officer just so that they can get the stipend, and then they go 4 years to school, and they out. They go and practice law, or get into whatever else, because it's so much stuff going on. Hey, I see it on both the ends. I do. So now you have a lot of police officers that's out there. They don't. A lot of them don't even know the law because they just pushing them. A lot of the citizens know more of the law than them. They're just pushing them through the academy so that they can get a body out on the street, because they got people leaving in record numbers. And that's not a good thing, because no city can afford to be lawless.
right. Okay. So we're gonna shift the gear one more time, Miss T. Well, first of all, I got a member cutting up in the chat, so let me get to him real quick. I know you reading in the comments, right? So,
There-
Mr. Waller, Mr. Savage Waller, listen, I'm conducting the interview here, right? So, why would you ask Miss T about that? So, if just say if we talking and she just get to talking about her own, thank you, Miss T, for just sticking to the script. I'm just saying, man, what's going on, bro? Let me conduct my interview, man. Keep your stick to the topic. That's what I'm saying. Stick to the topic. All right. So now me getting back to the topic. He read my mind, but damn, let me get it out. You know what I'm saying? Let me get it out. Uh, how did you get so? What made you gravitate towards the young dog case? Though, like, how did you get? You know,
Instead talking about
become
the young
become.
dog's case.
Yeah,
Okay, so I remember, like, when the young dog, when he was first assassinated, and I've always been very honest, because I listen to more like old school R&B and gospel music, right? I listen to
right,
some rap, so I seen Young Dolph one time, and I only remember when he was taken out. He was in Debo's Hot Wings, and he was paying for it when people were walking in. He was passing out like CDs, and he was like, "Can I pay for your food? Only thing I want is for you to listen to the CD." That's like promotion, right? So
right.
I mean, he knew how to promote. Oh yeah, give me the CD even
They
if I don't.
warn you right there, right? They warn you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I remember when he was doing. Everybody that walked in, he did the same thing, right? So, so I remember when there was Linda Harris. She's a U.S. attorney. She was running for the district attorney of Memphis. So she would have been the first black woman. I was in her campaign, right? And so working in her campaign. And so it's funny because I talk about this. Steve Mulroy came to the fundraisers and everything. He said, "Linda, I'm going to support you, this, and that." But anyways, when young Dolph was taken out, I remember calling her for something else. And when she answered the phone, she was crying. And she was like, "I know you're calling me to tell me about young Dolph." I was like, "No, I'm calling to tell you about something else." But she was just boohooing and crying, right? And she was talking about how much of a philanthropist he had been and all of that. So when people said folks didn't care about him, people did care about him, right? So, anyways, it made me started paying attention to. I started seeing other vloggers vlogging on it outside of Memphis. At first, Thaddeus Matthews and another girl named Tawana was vlogging on it. And I was looking at it, and I saw this with my own eyes, how people were calling into their show or coming on their social medias flat out threatening them, right? they was flat out being threatened. And I remember when Tawana was like, I'm not gonna vlog about this no more. They've started calling me because nobody had been arrested at that point. They've started calling me saying they're gonna get my family and all that, and she would not talk about it anymore. And I remember when they had threatened Thaddeus, they was calling him all over in the middle of the night saying they was gonna get his family and stuff. And so, anyways, but no, straight dropping them, everybody was still on the street. And so, anyways, I started looking at this vlogger, ran up on this vlogger named Coat Figure, and he seemed to have been like going in the right direction. Of course, I still have friends that work at the police department and all of that. And so, they were saying early on that I was hearing them saying early on that they didn't believe that that cookie shop had anything to do with it. So when people say, "Well, you must know them," that's the reason why I cuss them out like they're a bunch of damn dogs. Because if I'm gonna believe somebody in Memphis that has more information as it relates to the case than somebody ain't never put their damn foot in Memphis.
Right.
Okay, so and that's all that I was saying. I was saying I don't know, and I've always said I don't know who worked in that cookie shop, right? But I don't know who worked in there. And so, anyways, Cold Figure was they started messing with him and he kind of stopped talking about it, and people was putting out all of this bad information. So I was so naive. I was like, wow, people are kind of going in the wrong direction. So I just kind of started talking about it because my friends that worked for the sheriff's office that was working in the jail, they was kind of telling me some stuff about, what was going on with Straight Drop, how he, anyways, quite a bit of stuff. And so I did a video one day. It wasn't a whole lot of people. I would vlog about it sometimes, only like 3 or 4 people. I did a video one day of my friend was telling me about some stuff that had happened with Straight Drop. And it was more to be inspirational to the young kids, the younger generation, about how when you go out here and you do this stuff, and then a lot of people have started changing their numbers on it, right? And so it got like 30,000 views. I looked at it again. I was like, wow, I did not know it was going to do that. But that's when all of the trolling started. But I started vlogging on it from um, I guess from a Memphis perspective, even though I went out in the street, I knew I couldn't tell a whole lot of pertinent information that somebody, people was kind of telling me behind the scenes, because they would only know more about it from an investigative point. Like I knew not to talk about who witnesses or anything like that. But people were saying Memphis didn't do this for young Dolph. Memphis wasn't messing with young Dolph, and this and that. Nothing happened after young Dolph was taken out. And I was like, dog, they couldn't live in Memphis because it was a war right after young Dolph was killed, right? So anyways, that's why I kind of started talking about it, and I was very neutral. I didn't say I was not accusatory, even though everybody already knew who it was. I got cousins and stuff out in the street. Folks already knew, okay, because they street dudes. They kind of like you. They kind of walk around talking about certain stuff, right?
Right.
They kind of walk around talking about it, and so about street stuff, that they don't want to put out, which is cool because that's how I understand. That's how more street guys are, and especially when they've been in and out of jail. I understand that, and so anyways, that's kind of how I got started talking about it. But I was very neutral until people started that I felt like was sent to troll me from certain record labels. Then I just became real blunt with it. Since they sending their people to troll me, they started threatening me. And I remember one of my friends told me that worked for the PD. He said, Tam, I don't think you should vlog on that case right now. I said, why? I'm going to be very neutral. He was like, I just don't think you should vlog on it at this point. He said, because they're going to start to threaten you. And I was not paying attention, but sure enough, when I put that video up and it started going viral, he was going back. I didn't even know it, looking at the comments. And he called me like 2 days after. He was like, I told you, you got a threat. And sure enough, it just kind of started from there. But I mean, I ain't scared.
I got you. I got you. That makes sense, though. So, I'll say, so when it comes to that, though, has the trolls and the threats, like, are they ongoing, or you know what I'm saying? You just done develop thick skin for it, or what?
I mean, they hacked my stuff. They sent somebody to my house. They sent a girl to my job. Not my job, but to my office. And I wasn't there, and she probably need to be glad that I wasn't there. So what I had to start doing was I started putting stuff in place because I was like, but it was vloggers. It's more vloggers that
Yes.
kind of
Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's more bloggers that kind of want to be work with these labels, I guess. To They think they're gonna get something, so it's more vloggers that are, and they get people, little imps that work up under them that want some attention. They send them out. They just didn't know it's gonna get their ass blown off. So I started filing. When people say she always filing reports, listen, I've been working. I do investigative work now, so it's been over 20 years. You think I'm a damn fool? I know what to do when I know that there's an issue. I ain't gonna go to jail for nobody. I'm gonna do what I need to do without going to jail.
So let me ask you this then: why do it seem like some bloggers seem like they get together, and then it seems like it always go bad? Why is it like that with the bloggers? Like, what be going on
I
out
don't
here in this?
know. I think some people. I don't know. I don't know. I think because some of the relationships, maybe a lot of them are not authentic. Maybe some people get jealous when they feel like one person is getting more attention. Maybe it's a issue with the narratives, or maybe people just start getting in their feelings about stuff. As I've always said, my stance has never changed as it relates to anything. Like when people say, because I've had people to come into my comments and say, well, you hate Yo Gotti and them. Listen, I knew Yo Gotti's music before. Yo Gotti was my era. I knew his music. My cousin them rocked his music. I even like one of his old songs. Young Dolph came after him. But what I've always said was, why would I want to hate him when the truth of the matter is everybody know what happened? Okay, it was wrong. I started looking more so at all of the stuff that started happening, and it's really, I take it personal with these young dudes losing their lives because of a bunch of OGs that was just mainly jealous of a guy and wanted him out the way. Then they pay these little dudes to go and crash out. They go back to their mansions and stuff out of town. They protect it. They can pay for security, and these little boys left in Memphis to die.
So has the music dictated a lot of the bullshit that go on in this city? You feel?
Yeah, yeah,
How
because
much?
now a lot of
If
people.
you was to put a percentage on it, like how much of it do you feel like the music sway the vibe?
I would say 75% of it, or I would say 75% of it, and the other 25% could be bad parenting.
Bad parenting.
Hmm.
Makes sense. Bad parenting. So when it comes to our city, though, how do we? I think we talked about this. You said it started with the OGs, but it don't seem like the OGs want to be involved. So how do we switch turn the switch on though? How do we get back to people at least trying? I don't really feel like people even trying. People just in their own bubble. I ain't got nothing to do with it. It's so dangerous out here that I ain't got nothing to do with it. People just turning them. There's a lot of talk about it, but it ain't really no effort in doing to fix it. So how do we do that?
Well, I think a lot of the OGs down their sons and stuff. Their sons and stuff is the exact same age as a lot of these young guys that are out here crashing out. Okay, You don't want no involvement with it, but at least try and instill some type of foundation in your son. Because if you are OG, you know you've been in the street. No other OG like I'll say a Yo Gotti or anybody like him, okay, should ever feel comfortable enough to tell your child that I'll give you $100,000 to go do a drill. That would be disrespectful to the father who is an OG. Just to even ask his son something like that. And if you build instill a foundation in your child, of course they're gonna know that the risk is too high. Anyways, they're gonna carry themselves in a way that they already know that they can't ask your child to go do no drill. So when people say it ain't nothing I can do, yeah, it starts in your household. These young dudes, these young adults that are doing this is still living in the household with their parents.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. So can we shake back from it though? You know what I'm saying? Can we shake back?
I don't know because it seems like this situation with the young dog situation, it's probably gonna be a minute. I don't think it's gonna shake back until maybe after this case is over, because when the trials start, I think it's gonna be another war when all of this stuff start coming out.
Right.
That's what I fear too. Another war when all of these trials and stuff start up.
So over I'm not calling by names though. Just and I ain't actually you calling nobody out though, because like you particularly, you speak on Dolph sometimes, or So out of the bloggers who do speak on Dolph, how many of y'all do you feel like speak on it with integrity though? You know what I'm saying? Not trying to push a false narrative.
Um,
Just a number in your head.
maybe 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 just a few. Can you hold on for 1 second? Okay. Uh,
Sure, sure, sure.
Hello. Nothing much. What's going on?
Don't smash it.
Because I'm kind of doing something. Is Listen. Can I call you back when I finish an interview? So I'll call you back when I finish. All right. One of the other investigators, he called him back to back. I'm thinking something going on. I get paranoid when start calling back to back to back to back to back.
Right.
But I would say out of all of them, maybe a few, because a lot of what we hear is a bunch of crap.
Right.
I would say 90% of what we hear is a bunch of crap, if not a bigger percentage. Some of these people they know they lying. They done blamed everybody from Dolph's kids all the way to somebody in Timbuktu.
Right. Yeah, it's something different every day though.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something different every day. So and let's see, I definitely appreciate you coming to the platform though. There's really uh I don't know what else I had to ask you. That's really what all I had to ask you though. Just being real though, is there anything you want to say? There's a lot of people y'all got anything y'all want to ask this real talk though. There's a lot of young people in the building probably pertaining to what we talked about. They say a lot of, let me ask you this though. A lot of people will, I've been saying this too though, like a lot of folks think straight drop gonna get out. How you feel about that?
He's not gonna get out. A lot of people were saying Cornelius was gonna get out. A lot of these folks, these people don't know what these dudes have said, maybe behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you never know. Folks might pick and choose who they want to tell on, right?
Right.
But they don't know when folks sit up and talk about, such and such ain't do that. I'm like, dog, you have more confidence in these people than they have in themselves. because you never know. Some of these folks flat out have put themselves on the scene, have tried to justify some stuff. So you don't. These people just be trying to make some money, and so the reason why they come at me, I know people say, I heard somebody say, well, a person that be into it with somebody all the time, it must be them. Now people come at folks that they can't break. My stuff ain't, I have not changed because it's not gonna change. I have connections with the real source. So when they say you ain't out in the street, a lot of them people in the street, they might initially know what happened, but they don't know what's going on in an investigation. They don't know what them folks saying. So that's why they run their asses over to my show. If I'm capped, why you in my bushes? Because I got the juice for real as it relates to what's going on in that damn investigation.
Makes sense, man. It definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense, though. A lot of it is the, like you said, hating as well.
I've never seen anything like this before. Listen, the YouTube does not pay me nothing. Like I said, what I do with my YouTube check, I go and I buy candy and water bottles and stuff. Just like I got to be somewhere at 5:30 to meet a client. I take my money and I go put that good stuff in my office so that when my clients walk in there, they can have good candy and potato chips and wine if they spend a lot of money, and some water. Okay. That's what that YouTube check do. I'm not gonna get on here and go back and forwards with people about arguing and stuff. But people, they piss you off, they taunt at you, they mess with you, and then they try to play victim like you the problem. That's exactly what's going on. When the truth of the matter is, people be mad, number one, because they vlogging on a case and they're not even from out of Memphis, or they might be mad about something else. Folks never tell the truth.
Fact. And I got one last question on Ashley before I got off. I saw you spoke on it, but I didn't get a chance to check it out. So, because I was doing something at the time too, though. What you think about Mr. Govan going back to jail, violating his term? Like,
I think that Mr. Govan,
Govan,
yeah, I think Mr. Govan is. I think they call him Govan. Govan. I think that Mr. Govan. I don't. I've always said I don't believe that Govan was the mastermind, and I don't believe that he paid for the hit with his money. Okay.
somebody said he's free.
Yeah, they let him back out because he went to jail in Mississippi, right? But he
Yeah.
has to, Mississippi let him out. Now when he has to go to court next month in July. When he goes to Shelby County's court next month, that might be a totally different thing. When he walked back up in there, because they have to go do, just for their appearances and stuff, she might have them to handcuff him.
And you say you
He'll
don't
serve
think
his
that he
time
what?
out. I said I don't believe that he's the mastermind. I don't think it was his idea that he was the one that sat down and said, we want young Dolph taken out. I believe he was the one that was brought in after the idea was conceived by Yo Gotti and them. Okay. And to go and help find some people to do it. That's what I think.
That's well, we don't definitely
And
want
I,
to.
I, I I hate that I said that. Listen, I'm not trying to listen. I hate that I said his name on your platform because I'm not trying to put you in nothing.
No, it's all good. No, I spoke on Go on before though. I just don't really be speaking on him. I did some shit on him.
No,
Spoke
I'm
on him.
talking about on Yo Gotti.
Oh, I ain't even heard this. That's my bad. It's a slip of gold. I ain't heard it though. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
He said you could be out on two bonds. Yeah, yeah, you can. He's in that bond was in South Haven, Mississippi. He's got to go back to court for that one next month. Then he has to just go for an appearance um, in Shelby County Court. And she has said before, Mr. Govan, when you come in here, don't give me a reason to send you back to jail. It would seem to me that might be a reason.
Yeah. Right.
You talking about stalking, and he's on house arrest. So he was out over in the middle of the night. So that was the time he wasn't supposed to be out. Lord have mercy. I tell you, he messed around and whatever, I guess he must be in love with that one because he out over in the middle of the night looking.
Yeah, she probably said the wrong shit. I don't know what happened.
But she did the worst thing she ever could have did to him because she messed him over bad.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, Miss T, man, I appreciate y'all. Got hold on. I ain't through the hold on. Y'all got questions for how you doing, Miss Cholak? Appreciate everybody who just jumped into the interview. Y'all gotta go back and check it out though. And y'all have any questions for Miss T though? We got a couple minutes to chat though. I know she got something to do. But y'all have a question for Miss T? Let's not get outraged. What y'all got for Miss T though? Did I miss anything, Miss T? How you feel about the interview, Miss T?
I think it was cool. I was thinking about. I was like, I wonder what he gonna ask me. But that was cool. It was a cool interview. You made me feel real comfortable because sometimes people, um, you, you never know. But
Never know.
I didn't think you was gonna do it. But like I said,
You never know what people gonna say.
right? You never know what people gonna say.
Nah, my grandma raised me, so I ain't trying to be on no bullshit.
Yeah, it's always good. Listen, can we have more T2 True and Tim? Listen, I see all the ladies that be lusting over True in my chat in here. I'm messing with y'all now, ladies.
Man, I appreciate y'all in the chat though. But appreciate y'all in the chat. Miss T, what you got coming up next though? Did you ever write a book? I think I seen you wrote a book, right?
No, I didn't write a book.
Okay.
I
My
need
bad.
that. You know what? You like the third person that said that to me though. You need to write a book. Maybe I will. Maybe I will
Yeah.
write a book about. People always ask me about why I'm so interested in politics. I'm so interested. I never was interested, but until my dad 10 years ago, when my dad was coming to the end of his career, he was like, "I'm gonna start teaching you politics because you're the most vocal child I got." And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you politics because there's too many crooked ones, and then I'm gonna put money behind you, and we're gonna start running you. It was like weird. It was like I guess my dad kind of thought he had my life planned out.
Right. Your
Um,
dad sound like HNIC. He sound like uh a real man's man though. For real.
Yeah, he was a man's man. He was when I see people now, like if I see him out, they go, "You Rick's daughter." Man, your dad sure made a difference. Like he was strong. I think about now, I think my dad fought for people for 30 something years, right? And so I think all that fighting and not selling out and stuff, he always said, when you before you go into something, I think that's why I work so hard. Always have your own money. If you have your own money, you ain't never got to build your money up. You ain't never got to sell out. And that might be another reason why I'm kind of attracted to what Young Dolph stood for, because I think Young Dolph went and made his own money and he didn't have to sell out, but it always makes you a target when people can't control you.
Yeah, I heard you say you like a little cut. Heard you say that you like a little street.
Who said that? I'd like a little
I
street.
was listening to one of your talks one day, and I heard you say you like a little street dude. You know, you like the guy
But
that's a
that's
little
all I
street,
was around.
not
That's
too
really
street,
all I
but
ever dated.
makes sense.
Because even one of the police officers I dated, he was a reform street dude. Yeah, that's all I was around. That's why I tell people I think sometimes a lot of street more street dudes are really smart, methodical. They know how to handle money. They're really good um what's the word I'm looking for, with marketing stuff. You know what I mean? I think sometimes, just because of, I guess, they would be considered criminals, they kind of get a bad rap. And then, hey, I guess because they might be into, I'm not saying that the guys that I dated was into illegal stuff, because I don't know what they was into because I wasn't around it. So when folks say, didn't you know he was a gang leader? No, I didn't know that, because I never saw no gang. So I don't know what he was other than my boyfriend. So I think a lot of street guys kind of get a bad rap. But a lot of them have hearts, because even with some of them, I'm just saying in general, out there doing wrong, they kind of still feed people within their community.
Yeah. Your money said, when y'all going out for lunch?
Me and who?
Yep, your money. It's on your damn love connection, man.
Some of these comments I don't see.
I don't know why, but he said, when y'all going out for lunch?
Oh, you your money. I kind of get scared of the people I can't see on the internet, because I don't know. I be talking a lot of shit sometimes. I be thinking some of those guys are affiliated with that CMG label. They trying to get
They just say he true. They just say he truly. Don't trust him. They just say he truly. Don't trust him.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So your money, if you truly, why would you? Well, hey, these puppies going crazy. They fighting. Stop. Your money, if you truly, why on earth would you ever want to meet me out somewhere? You know how I be getting reckless sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't know when to quit it. You just got that damn rent back, your money. You know what I'm saying? You just pleaded for their rent. You went to trial for their rent. And here you go. There you go again.
See, big true that I be strapped for real.
You be strapped.
I be strapped for real.
I'm just fucking with you, your money, though. I believe you, though.
I know. I'm messing with him.
Y'all gotta be out here, though. See what I'm saying? That go back to me saying, when you become afraid of the city, it got to be some type of threat to where you don't go back certain neighborhoods, you be strapped now. You know,
well, that's because I do. That's because the type of work that I do investigative work, and one of the reasons why it's a must, because when you're having to do investigative work, you don't ever know what people are on. Like when you have to go and take statements. Like if I don't take a whole lot of jobs from defense attorneys anymore, but when you have to go get statements and stuff for a criminal defense, you have to go into some of these hoods. So I mean, it's just always good to have your weapon on you. You have to. We always have backup though. Before I ever even go into
chocolate. My bad.
even go into anybody's house, we always check it out. We always have cars sitting outside. So in the house I go in, I'm coming out of, and I'm coming out of there the way I walked in there.
Your money said, y'all messing up my image. If she laugh, I can get her. And they got another saying. So we're going, but okay then. How do you feel about how the new mayor Paul Young? I think Paul Young is in over his head.
Yeah, me too.
I think he should have never came out and made this statement about he going to meet with the gang leaders and all that old shit. He should have did it behind closed doors and see how it works, because he ain't do shit.
He
He ain't
didn't meet.
trying to.
He didn't meet. Did he meet? I wonder if he
Who we
what game.
talk to? Shit, exactly. Who we talk to?
Yeah, that's what everybody want to know. Which games was it?
Fuck you talk to? Gang leaders. Which gang? You know, it's so many. You know, that's a hard. Who the hell you talk to, sir? Nah, so you know, I feel like he just need to do a better job. Just be cool. I don't know nothing about him. I just when I heard that I knew what shit.
Well, I went to their church. You know, their mom and their dad has a church, and so I used to be a member of their church. They were always good people. You know, his dad has passed on recently, and his brother is now is over the church. You know, preaching at the church. But I think for Paul Young, like for maybe like for young men like you that might want to be out there, you might want to have a nonprofit or something like that. Um, Street guys that really want to be out there, I think Paul Young is good for that. It's a lot of money out there for that. Who better than somebody like you to have a nonprofit organization to have activities for the young men and stuff like that, to have people to come in and talk to them and all of that. But you have to think about, we had AC Warden and Memphis had Jim Strickland. So that's 8, 9 to AC Warden was a one-term mayor for the city of Memphis. He had already messed up the county as a mayor. So Paul Young got like 12 years, 12 years to try and fix. And he just been there 6 months.
So she was turn me into the right direction where I can talk to him then and try to get something going. Cause I actually do have a little nonprofit that I've been putting a lot of time into it, but I really do want to put time into it. It's like kind of far as like with my name or my
Do you
YouTube go off of. So
do
I
you have
really
your
want
501c3? Is it 501c3?
this kind of speaking Spanish. I mean, hold on, that's speaking. I don't even know what they mean.
Okay, so a 501c3 is like a the paperwork that you have, like a tax exempt paperwork that you have, which is not hard to get, right?
I don't
Um,
have that.
okay, so that is what you get when you start a nonprofit, because some people have organizations, but it's not nonprofit yet. So
Right,
when you make it nonprofit, that's when you start getting like Penny Hardaway. The mayor has funds for nonprofit because what happens is if they start these rich people start donating to your nonprofit, then it's a tax write-off for them, right? Instead of paying it all into the IRS, they just give it all to organizations that is helping the community, right? So I think they got some people scared. They go, you don't want no 501c3 because you have to deal with the government. As long as you allocate your funds right and you do what you say you're gonna do, a lot of people want to get it and they go buy $1 million houses and all of that. Of course, the Fed's going to be at your door, but there
right.
is a way to pay yourself. Everybody that has business sense know that if you have a nonprofit organization, you give
Right,
yourself a salary. You don't take
right.
all the money and go buy Bentleys because they're going to come and get you.
I started reading when I was in prison. I started reading the nonprofit for dummies, and that's how I started. Briefing myself on it, and I just haven't took the steps as far as like you saying what to really get into it like I want to where I can start getting government funding and stuff like that. But I definitely have a good ideal on one of and a good avenue in which I'm trying to go about it.
Well, I write grants. I went and took the classes and got the certifications for nonprofits. So that's how we be getting grants and stuff for my nonprofit. Like when my dad passed away, that's something he started, and now I'm over it. I get started, and then I get my dad just been passed away for like a year. My dad and I've been this business partner for 10 years, so it kind of started messing with me, right? I go, dog, I gotta. It just kind of started messing with me because I go, dog. My dad's supposed to be leading this, but my dad's sister, kind of been encouraging me and to get back into it. Well, that's what encouraged me to start it back up, even though my time and stuff is run together. But one of the things that we're going to do is like when we form like the young adults, a lot of young adults have never been out of Memphis. One of the last things that my dad and I was planning to do before he just took sick unexpectedly was to go to New York to visit Harriet Tubman's house that is now a museum. And so I was thinking about that's a field trip that I can take some teenagers on, you know, that are reformed. Like I'm developing a relationship with the courts so that a lot of these it's a lot of stuff, quite a bit of stuff that we're doing. So connecting with Paul will be a good thing for you, but you need to get your 501c3 first, to get your website, have your paperwork in place. Because I remember this one time when Penny Hardaway used to sit at this McDonald's. They've torn it down now. It used to sit off of Airways, and every morning he would be in the McDonald's, and this person with a 501c3 walked in there and started talking to him, sat down and started talking to him about what they was doing with their 501c3. Penny wrote them folks out a $20,000 check. So when you have your ducks in a row, you have people to mess with you the long way.
Right. I guess some people want to know that they just want to see where your money going, where their money going it's like a business model plan, and then it's up to you, like you said, you some type of how to put yourself on the payroll and figure it out.
Right. And you have people that that are nonprofit organization experts that you could pay them probably what $250, $300, $300 to $500 one time to show you how to put all of that in place, where you pay yourself. This comes out how to do your books and stuff like that. You pay them that one time, right? Even if you have to bring them in another time to pay you to show you how to do it, at least you'll have all of that set up. The issues are, I'm not talking about you, with some people, they don't want to spend no money. Listen, people mess with you because you get money for grants, right?
Right.
It ain't nothing wrong with putting that money back into your organization, or when you pay yourself from the money you're getting for your organization, because you're on your own payroll, you the CEO. So you put some of that money back into learning, so that the feds, you don't have to have no meetings and stuff with them for misappropriating money that is supposed to be put into the community. You could pay yourself anything. You have nonprofit organizations like the United Way is a nonprofit organization. They be paying because they get so much money, because they've been around for a long time. Shoot, they pay their CEOs and stuff like $900,000. So once the money start coming in, you could pay yourself. The more you get, the more you start to establish your presence and put your name out there. You'll start to get more money when people start to trust you, right? They'll start giving to you, and then you can start raising your salary and stuff like that. You just can't get $100,000 in and then pay yourself $100,000. That's stealing. But that's when we said the feds came and got them. The people ain't gonna tell you that's what they did.
Right. I got you. It makes sense though. That's definitely crazy.
What's up, McName Ace? I see. Oh Lord, the fish truck in here.
Man, Miss T, you got to go ahead and get in these comments for a second, Miss T. God dang.
McName says, I love to hear Miss T speak on finances.
Now, go back up. You got to listen to this Yo Money and this Guala guy. These guys got these wrenches, and they done, goddamn it, it's always them. So go ahead and just read these guys' comments for a second.
Okay, Yo Money says, I'm scared. I've been knowing Sammy. Who he talking about? Black Youngster?
No, you probably got to take it up a little further. They've been at it for a minute with their food.
Oh, okay.
When they talking about her bestie and a meal and all this. Go ahead. Let me go like this. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. She says, I like the new background. He says, how do y'all feel about how the new mayor, Paul Young, I think that's the last one I read. I spoke to you an hour ago, little Miss Muffin. Your Money says, I love me an intelligent woman, not in the not in the phone. Good conversation. That's sexy. Savage says that woman don't trust you. See, oh my, is that Savage that be on Cypress channel?
I think it might be.
He be cutting up on Cypress channel.
Yeah,
Her homegirl, youngster cousin, she'll put you in the trunk. Yep, Black Youngster's cousin is my best friend. We grew up, we've been best friends since I was 5 years old. We grew up in Clementine together. And
I have a cousin. Her and Key Glock mama grew up with each other.
really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? A lot of people don't know my cousin April. She used to always talk about, she called Dolph's mother Aunt Diane and all of that. So she's my cousin on her dad's side. So I said to her, I said, April, how are you related to young Dolph? She said, well, my mom, her mother, and Key Glock's grandmother is sisters. I said, wow.
They sisters.
They sisters. They're sisters. Her mother and Key Glock's grandmother are sisters.
Damn, that's crazy. Small.
I said, wow. A small world, ain't it?
I always be like this. But yeah, they can't help themselves in this chat.
Your money says, don't involve my woman in that type of, what's that ism? What's IZM? What does that mean?
We be talking about isms over here.
See, I don't know a lot of that slang.
Don't hit them with the isms, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. I had somebody that I was interviewing, and he was speaking on, this the terminology he brought to this chat, ism. So I just been using it, Memphis isms. It's just a slang, ideology, basically what he was saying.
What part of Louisiana did you come from?
Baton Rouge.
You don't have that. Well, Baton Rouge kind of has like the New Orleans and the Mississippi accent.
I've been in Memphis for a minute though.
I was gonna say, because the only thing I heard where you might sound like you can't when you said right here, because that's what they said, right here.
You're not in them type politics.
She's not in them type politics. Each one to teach one. We're gonna lace you up, Miss T. Okay, y'all gonna lace me up. Listen, yeah. One day, but shoot, that was before I started vlogging on the Young Dolph's case. My dad, we had like my dad decided to do something at a church, and he was like, we're gonna feed the whole community so that we can start talking about the organization that I'm over now that he has started. So he was like, we need to start passing out a lot of stuff, and talking to these people about the organization. So we was over there around Firestone. So that's North Memphis. That's the deep north, right? So
right.
Now Firestone is like North Memphis, like not too far from the downtown area, like around Scudderfield. Yeah, places like that. And so I was like, okay, so I've always been talkative. We was like, we're gonna walk around the neighborhood. So one of the guys at the church was like, well, I'm gonna just trail behind y'all to make sure nothing happened. It was a whole lot of gang members and stuff standing out. I walked all up in the driveway and stuff and was talking to them. They was very respectful. I was not afraid of them, and they listened to me. And then I was like, go down there and take the kids and get something to eat. They were very respectful. They was out there standing on the corner. They seemed to be receptive. I had no issues at all.
I ain't never just really hung out in North Memphis like this coming up, so I ain't gonna lie. Like,
me neither.
I used to play basketball out there at Northside. We used to have like a basketball tournaments out there, but I never just really hung out that way.
I didn't hang out. My dad grew up in North Memphis, and then they moved to Whitehaven when my dad was 17. So he basically had already grown. He had graduated already when they moved to the Whitehaven area.
Have you ever lived outside of Memphis?
Um, well, I kind of live outside of Memphis now, but you know, Mississippi ain't considered outside of Memphis, right?
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I got you.
But I still, you know, my businesses and stuff. I be in Memphis every single day because a lot of my work is either in Memphis or in Arkansas.
Well, I heard you got a little studio, so I got a little commercial cleaning service over there. I can drop back, give you a good quote. You know,
Okay, cool. Cause I sure be needing somebody to. My dad used to always give me. He's like, look, you're gonna have a cleaning service to come in here. Cause when I have people over there, like when they leave out, sometimes they sit and talk so long. I be so tired after they do their little show or their commercial or whatever. What I'll do is I'll walk out with them like, dog. Like I'm hoping the people that come in there today, they don't, you know, when we finish doing what we need to do. I hope they don't talk me to death, but a lot of times they do. And so they leave their cups and stuff around because I be constantly giving them stuff to eat and stuff. You know, you like to make your clients comfortable and feed them
right,
good when they're going to spend some money.
right, right. Makes sense. That makes sense. So, what you say you got coming up, Miss T? What you got? What you working on next?
Oh, I'm working on the nonprofit organization, making it bigger than ever. Um, and it will be because I've already written the vision down. It's gonna be big. I promise to God. We gonna. I told my board members. I said, sorry, we're gonna receive a Dove Award or something for what I got planned for what we're gonna do for the community. And as far as like social media and my TV show, I just bought a lot of time because a lot of people say people don't look at TV. You know, I'm on Comcast. I'm like, yeah, older people still look at TV because they don't know how to work social media. So I just bought a lot of TV time and stuff in Alabama. And I'm also working on doing some more stuff in Alabama because what a lot of people don't know is a lot of money circulating in Alabama, and I want some of it.
Right, right, right. I actually got the lady I was supposed to be interviewing next. I was supposed to be interviewing her for a few days. I think her on BET Network on Vlad. Her name Miss Carrion Roberts,
Uh
and
huh.
she's supposed to be. Well, she was one of the trap queens from that way. Like she was making a whole lot of money, and she just got a wild story that I'm supposed to be interviewing her today, and she's from Alabama, Huntsville, actually.
That's where I just bought a lot of time, like in Huntsville. Like I just bought a lot of airtime in Huntsville, and we're gonna ride down there and have I'm going to set up some interviews, some appointments with the churches because it's a lot of churches that still want to put their for the older people that can't make it to church that don't have social media, they still put their church services on TV, right? And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna ride down there, stay down there a week, and then about I've already been coming on in muscle shows. I was coming on in Birmingham for a little while, and I stopped. I don't know why, because I was they was real receptive. So I'm gonna start back coming on in Birmingham. Well, I bought a lot of time around those areas, and then I think I'm gonna start buying after I make my profits and stuff. After we get it going there in Alabama, I think I'm gonna move down to start getting time in South Carolina.
So let me ask you this one then. Before when you got into media, was Oprah Winfrey one of your influences?
Yes, listen, y'all gonna think I'm weird. Don't y'all know when I was like 14 years old, I was so in awe of Oprah. That's when you had to write in, they would say write into the show. I
Right.
was I was always writing her and mailing them off, buying a stamp and writing her letters talking about how I admired her and if she is so weird. I was like, if you ever do they ever do a movie on your life, I want to play you in a movie. Like I was so in awe of Oprah at that time.
What was it about at that time?
Just being a black woman on TV and how Oprah she gave a lot away. And I was like, dog, like she give a lot of stuff away and all of that. just how she carried herself, you know. Um, we see how things are now as you get
That's
older.
what I was gonna ask you. Do you feel the same?
Well, now I know the truth about a whole lot of stuff. That a lot of those people are bought, right? We think that they own their shows and stuff, and really they're just the face of those shows, right? And they're kind of like puppets and do what people that fund them tell them to do. Hmm.
So she really ain't with us.
No, she have to do what they tell them to do. I used to always wonder though. Even then, I was like, dog, as far as like millions of dollars, when they donate millions of dollars, it's always like over in other countries. Why don't they donate all of the money that they donate to Africa, which is good, but they still robbing people blind? Because when you think about all the concerts Michael Jackson did, and he did concerts, he always sold out. He wouldn't take a dime and gave it to Africa, and they said the people weren't even getting like 10% of that money. Everybody else was taking that money. But I used to wonder, why don't they donate, in the United States? But I heard a story, and I kind of believe it, that a lot of those people like Oprah that donate to other countries and stuff, and they don't do it in their United States, is because they are told not to donate a lot of money, that money to the American people, because they always want us to stay at a, they make a lot of money off of the poor over here in the United States and in anywhere else, really. Because Africa is the richest, really, continent, right? That's where all the minerals and gold and all of that is. But they keep them sick and stuff like that. Try to keep them illiterate and stuff so that they don't know just how wealthy they could be and are.
So that's true. Yeah, Africa definitely rich. That's why a lot of people, you know, you have a lot of people that's getting hip to it now. But I don't think a lot of people with money just want to actually go to Africa and try to, you know, would you move to Africa?
You know what? I don't know, because it's a lot, but it's a lot of people moving to Africa. One of my best friends, and I had intended to go, and I hate I couldn't go at the last minute, but she went to Africa a few months ago, and she was going live every day. Listen, it's so beautiful. It's so many black people over there. Of course, we would know that, but they want you to think that it's like Tarzan over there, but it's not. Like it's just, hey, it's a lot of happy people over there. If you think about it now, you think about how the Africans are that come over here to the United States to work, to do braids, right? They all just kind of stick together.
They definitely have their own little community.
Hmm. They stick together. They braid hair. They make money. Like the girl that does my twist now. She's been in the United States for 5 years. She said that she's gonna be over here a few more years. And I said, well, who's gonna do my twist? She said, well, my daughter will be here, and then someone else come when I leave. We come make money, work, and my house. She said her house is almost through being built. She's building a big house back over in the synagogue, and she said she have enough money where she won't even have to work. That's what they come to the United States to do. And then when they do that, another one come after they leave, and that's what they do. And that's what you're supposed to do.
I knew one that worked over. I worked for one also, and he was working over here for sending money back home. Just because it was more money over here. But he had plans on going back over there because all his people were there. So he was just over there strictly to work. So he was over here living modest as possible. Making it work.
They build their houses, and then they're able to start a business when they get back over there. And a lot of them basically, hey, you can build a little hut or whatever. They basically grow their own foods. I went to Jamaica a year and a half ago, and I was so in awe of it because that was my first time over there. And you have people that work extremely hard. They say it's almost like Africa, but you hardly ever see. I hardly saw any fast food restaurants. I think I saw McDonald's. I was like, dog, y'all don't really have fast food restaurants. Like, no, we basically grow our own foods, and that's the reason why they're a lot healthier, right? We basically grow our own foods, and every you saw people on the side of the road selling like yams and um, fruits and stuff
The
like
face I'm making Miss T though. Check
that.
this
Huh?
out. Listen, I'm making an ugly face. Check this out. Without all due respect, I went to an African wedding. They got some of the nastiest food in life. That shit
Really?
terrible. What? Huh? That shit terrible. I'm talking about terrible. Sorry. That shit
What did it
nasty.
taste like? What was it? What
Like,
was it?
man, all that wet shit. Well, man, that shit terrible, man. They
It
can't
do be kind of soupy. Listen, I
man,
felt
shit
bad.
wet, got a wild taste to it. I don't think shit of they food. I ain't even gonna lie. It is beautiful over there, but they can't cook worth the shit.
When I was getting my hair braided one day, the girl that does my hair, I was like, "Is that oxtails?" She was like, "Yeah." I mean, it smelled good because they use a lot of good season. They get it from their African shop. And so she said, "You like you want to taste it?" And I was like, just give me a little bit." And I promise you, I think I hurt her feelings because they had white rice and their rice they boil it, but it'd be hard. They don't put nothing
Yeah,
on it; just be regular rice, nothing, no seasoning.
that
And
shit coming out through their pores, how strong it is. That shit coming out through their pores, how strong it is. I'm talking about I couldn't find nothing at the wedding I wanted to eat. Nothing but some cake. When I had went back to little kid mode where I put the plate on the table and covered everything over like I was gonna take it home. I got to buy all the shit up. To be honest, I got to buy all the shit up in the napkin because it was so nasty. I couldn't get jiggy with this shit at all. Is African food better Americanized? Because
yeah,
the
it's
real
better
African
Americanized.
food, shit, that shit hard on the stomach.
Cause
I
that
ain't
food
gonna lie.
over in when we went over to Jamaica now, that food was so good because we
Yeah,
had an all inclusive buffet, which means we walk into their restaurant any time of the day and eat they had all types of fish. Even when we stop on the side of the road at the fish huts, they had it's funny, the huts are so small, they all have boats in the back. So they jump in their boat, go catch the fish, come back into the hut, kill it,
right,
and cook
right.
it. But it was really good, but it might have been Americanized, but it was really good.
I'm trying to tell you, Jamaican food different though. See, Jamaican food good. Jerk chicken, jerk this, jerk that. They got a lot of good Jamaican food, but it's them damn Africans what I'm talking about. Like, I'm scarred on their African food. I ain't gonna lie. I don't give for what they talking about. It's a beautiful country, but when your ass go to Africa, you gonna suffer. You know what I'm saying? You gonna suffer over there eating that food. That's just real talk. You gonna suffer. You better bring your culture with
Looked at She said my cousin is Nigerian and they eat cow tongue, stuff like that.
you. I'm trying
I
to tell
can't.
you.
But
I'm trying to tell you.
don't they sell cow tongue in the grocery store here? Don't
Do
they?
how many people eat it? I done seen it in my stepmama refrigerator when I was younger. Like I'm like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? But how many people really eating cow tongue though? You buy it.
Nah, I don't eat no cow tongue. I
I
don't
ain't
eat.
saying people don't eat, but cow
Mm-mm,
tongue that's a delicacy. That's a acquired taste.
mm-mm.
That's an acquired taste. All I'm saying, y'all, for the people who want to go to Africa, I just remember went to an African wedding. It was all Africans in there, and all I'm saying, shit turtle.
But see, that food be mushy too. I can't eat
It
mushy.
be wet,
Yeah,
mushy,
it be
wet,
mushy. I can't eat
wet
mushy food.
bread, wet macaroni and cheese. It's wet green shit. The meat wet. I'm talking about everything. I can't. Then it was strong, wild tastes. Man, listen here.
So it be real runny. Is that what you're saying? Be runny? The macaroni, the
It's
cheese.
like they got all the macaroni and cheese. It was just like a strong, like they might have used goat cheese or some shit like that. Like I think that's what it was. They got their own type of it was just a wild taste to the macaroni and cheese that I ain't used to. And then it was kind of soupy. It was. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, it was.
I can't eat no soupy mac.
Exactly. Tomatoes and okra. Like, it's just an acquired taste. It just, you got to be brought up on this type of food. Because you ain't just finna like this shit, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. You ain't just finna like it. If you like that, then you trying to embody, hey, you daring to be different.
They got I think is it a Ethiopian restaurant on Germantown Parkway?
They got an Ethiopia. You know, I ain't never ate their food, but I'm just remember this African wedding. They had a whole spread. So the authentic African stuff, like going over there type stuff, I wouldn't want it. No shape, form, or fashion, though. That's all I'm saying. My partner, he married, so he been married about 5, 6 years.
How
And
he like eating that food?
you know what? I gotta ask. But you know what? At the wedding, he was tearing this shit up though. So he finna marry one. He had to. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he used to it. He used to it. Yeah,
He
he was
used
used
to it.
to it. So he knocked that shit down. All that wet shit, he knocked that shit down.
They said Indian food. Now let me just say this: I had the opportunity. One of my clients, and she's been my client now for over a year. She's a Indian lady. Okay, and I ended up I really like them a whole lot because they always reach out to me to do some work for them, and I jumped to do it because they own all them hotels through the Holiday Inns throughout the South. So she was like, "Have you ever had Indian food?" I was like, "No, I would love to." She was like, "I'm gonna cook some authentic Indian food for you. Their food is really spicy, but I promise you, it was so good. They have like different sauces, like, but it's really spicy.
Right.
But it was good to me. They eat like a lot of pita bread and stuff like that. It was good to me because
Are
I
you
love
big on
spicy food.
you big on Chinese food?
I'll eat Chinese rice, but it has to be vegetable fried rice or veggie vegetable egg rolls. I don't eat. It can't be no meat in it.
Yeah, right.
No,
Why
no
all
chicken,
they
nothing.
chicken? Why all they chicken make that got a funny shape to it? Like
Yeah.
it's only they chicken. When they fried and it be in them little pieces, they motherfucker be doing this, that. Why 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 is it like this?
Because something wrong. Even their shrimp have a funny. I've never seen shrimp look like that. I'm gonna tell you a true story. The reasons why I don't really eat the meat. It took me a long time to start back eating their food. Don't you know? Like some years ago, I was working for the police department. They shut down Elvis Presley, like by
Oh
that chop,
yeah,
not just yums, but it was a Chinese restaurant down there next to that chop suey, and they busted it because they was going to the animal shelter adopting a cat and a dog every day, right? And so
right,
people got suspicious and called the police, like, I think they're doing something to the animals. And when they busted that restaurant, it was a lot of skin up dogs and cats and stuff.
right. Check this out, Miss
That's
T.
true.
I believe I remember the young when I remember that for sure for sure. But check this out. I was watching a Bruce Lee video one day. Man, Bruce Lee sitting in front of a fireplace. Man, they got a cat stretched out behind Bruce Lee. The cat roasting. I said, man, look at that. Bruce Lee, big cat. The cat just behind him roasting like it's a piece of chicken.
And
Man,
you know the way they do it is evil. Don't you know? I was talking to this
ooh,
Chinese guy that was doing my nails one day, and I asked him about it. I was like, "Why?" Because saw the campaign Peter started doing, and they boiled them. Them dogs be crying. They boiling them alive. I said, "Y'all eat cats and dogs?" He said, "Oh, over in my country, yes, they do in Vietnam." I said, I said, why y'all boil them alive though? I said on Facebook they were skinning them while he said, no, meat better when you boil them live. The meat is better. I said, that's torture.
They trying to. That's because they trying to. They trying to make the meat into a different form. They trying to give it that different texture. But when you it always done been some other bullshit that it's like this ain't really what it supposed to be. You know?
Well,
So
they had to pass a law a few years back because what they had started doing was they was dipping the monkeys in the hot grease, and you should have seen monkeys have close DNA to us. The looks on the monkeys' faces, they were selling them at the market, so they had to pass the law. The monkeys was just, the look on their face, they was like it was like fright. And so what they had to start doing was they passed the law because they said people started catching all types of disease eating those monkeys.
that's crazy. I know in the penitentiary, man, little Jose them, they used to catch pigeons and pluck the pigeons and just put them in the hot pot and boil them boys. You know what I'm saying? About they was walking around that joint eating fried pigeon rice.
Oh my God. But you think about how we domesticate like pet cats and
In their coat. They walking around
how
with pigeons in their
sensitive they
coat.
are. How can, like, when Peter started doing that campaign to show how the Asians were how they was torturing animals, to see how those dogs was crying, they boiled the water real hot, and when they tried to jump out, they were, ooh! They were just crying. Like I was crying too.
That lady said she still eat cat over here. Wait a minute.
Somebody eats cat?
Joy loves God. Your moderator. Wait a minute. My mom, Hispanic friends introduced us to it. We still eat it. Very expensive. Wait a minute.
Maybe she's talking about something else. I don't think she's talking about a cat.
Oh.
She's talking about beef tongue. Yeah, Joy is my moderator. I don't think she eats no cat. Listen, they said that where Joy lives at, they said that the food.
I'm sorry, Joy loves God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A cow. My mama used to cook chitterlings, and I think my mama said you the only darn person in the world that say chitterlings. She said that's not how you say it, but that's how it's spelled. My mama still cooked. She hadn't cooked them in a long time, but I remember my grandmother used to cook pig ears. Pig ears.
So a lot of that shit is old slave food that we used to eat, that they used to eat out there in the field what the people didn't want, and they took and turned it into a delicacy. So it's like, even psychologically, I wouldn't even want to eat this shit to this day. I wouldn't even want to introduce. So it's like a lot of people get mad when you turn down them type of food. We, pig guts and turkey necks and hog maws and all this old bullshit. Pig, look, that shit sound like bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Chicken stink. Why do I want to eat something that smell like shit? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got some hot sauce on it. When you cook it right, man, this shit smell like shit. You see how you say it? It's shit smell like shit. So it's like, man, come on, man. Now I ain't vegan, but I don't eat hog maw. I don't eat turkey necks. I don't eat fat backs. I don't eat pig ears. I don't eat pork. See what I'm saying? I'm really just a chicken type of person, man.
Oh, I ain't gonna tell no stories. I be buying them turkey wings and them turkey, sometimes them turkey necks, but mostly the turkey wings, and I be putting them in my green beans.
I don't see in the turkey wing. My mama, she fuck with turkey wings, but them just too big. I had to tell her one day. She was like, I'm finna get them turkey wings. You like? I said, Mom, I don't like them. That's what you like. I like chicken, man. You know what I'm saying? You calling talking about them turkey wings that you like. You cooked them one time, and I ain't want to disappoint you. You know what I'm saying? Let you know I ain't like them, but I see you want to cook them again, so I gotta let you know I don't want that big ass bird. You know,
Yeah, I buy turkey wings. It gives it such a good flavor. I put them in my green beans, and they be so good. That meat start falling off of the bone because I put them in my slow cooker.
I know chicken ain't no better, y'all, but out of all these nasty ass meats that we eat, I'm just saying that's the only one that I choose. I might fuck with the
Ground beef
fish
anymore.
sometimes.
I buy ground chicken. I buy ground chicken. It has a lighter texture or ground turkey. I don't buy ground beef.
I eat ground turkey though. See, her
So
mama just call her what she get, told her what she getting today. Turkey wing. Yeah, my mama, that's her favorite thing. She a turkey wing queen.
I'm gonna
Turkey
bake
wing
some. When
chocolate.
I get home, I'm gonna bake. I'm going to bake me some chicken. I'm gonna do mushroom cream of chicken, and then I'm gonna make me some candied yams.
Must.
They say watermelon is a slave food, and I can't get enough of it. I buy 2 watermelons a week from the market down in Millington.
Say that again. I just say the question that got me thrown out. What are they talking about in the chat again? I'm sorry, Miss T. I got thrown out. You eat yams, uh,
And baked chicken.
and baked chicken. So you cook, you can cook.
Yeah, that's what I do mostly. That's what I had to do to start. Because I started, I fell off the thing and hurt my leg, but when I was stopping and when I was out on investigations and stuff, we were just stopping and eating and stuff. It don't take long for that stuff to start hitting
No,
them butt in that butt in them thighs. So what I do is I just I cook now. Even when I know I gotta go out, I just pre-prepare my food and take it with me.
got
Look,
you right.
chocolate says don't cuss me out either. They said watermelon is gold to us. Listen, that's what they say. Somebody came into my chat, another vlogger. He was hating on me, talking about she thinks she's something, but she talk about she eating watermelon. I've been loving it since I was a child. I even sucked the juice when I finished the rind. I drink the juice out of it. Yes, I do. I got a good one over there right now. Go down to Millington because I only eat seeded watermelons. And when I finish eating that watermelon, I'm gonna go get me another one. So I guess I'm a slave because I sure eat them.
Y'all like watermelon too, though. Watermelon good. Watermelon good.
I can't eat seedless watermelons. They have to be seeded. And see, down in Millington, that market, they grow them in the back of their business. It's right there off of the road. And so they be organic and they be so good. That watermelon was so heavy. Oh, they be big and heavy.
My great grandmother used to have a farm in Mississippi, and she sold like watermelons, peas, corn, green. She sold a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, seedless is GMO. I don't eat seedless watermelon. I don't eat seedless grapes. And don't you know it's hard to? I have to get seeded grapes from the market. You can't even hardly find seeded grapes anymore in Whole Foods. So I don't buy grapes like I used to because they're seedless.
I like cherries, black cherries actually.
Don't you know they're like $9.99 a pound?
No, I know. Then when you look at them, they be bruised up. So you really I just eat mine in the store. Fuck it, I ain't even gonna pay for none. I'm just gonna eat them in the store because the bag be bruised up, and I'm just gonna get me some in the store. I'm gonna give me a good handful, like my grandma used to do. My grandma used to, she wiping it off, and we trying that out of food. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna tell y'all who have really good apples, really good red apples. That's Cash Saver. They have sweet, good apples. Those red apples in the bag, and they're not. They cost like $4 a bag. I always go in there and get me some apples.
yeah, I fuck with red. I like red apples. I like fruit cocktails, actually.
Me too. I bought some fruit cocktails recently. We used to eat those at school. I love fruit cocktails. Now the ones that they have in the I buy the ones in the can because the ones they have in that plastic is something different
No,
about it.
I'm talking about the canned ones myself.
She
I'm talking
says
about
pink
the
lady apples are delicious. I've never seen pink lady. I used to like to eat Granny's apples, but they're too sour now. Those green apples, they're too
right,
sour.
right.
I like mangoes, but I can't eat kiwi. I'm allergic to kiwi. I swell up.
I like kiwi, the golden kiwi. They great. You ever had the golden kiwis or the golden grapes?
I can't eat kiwi. I'm allergic to them. My lips and eyes and stuff start swelling. She says, have I seen gold all these lemons? I love lemons, but I'm gonna tell y'all something that I got one time. I never do it again. It was disgusting. Walmart was selling lemon oranges. So somehow they had breeded lemon and oranges together. It was absolutely disgusting. It was so nasty. I got them. I was like, I've never seen this before. I'm gonna try them. It was horrible. It tastes horrible.
I done seen some hybrid fruit myself, though. They got some hybrid fruit out here. So they do got it. They do have it.
Florida has a lot of good produce too.
Who you said,
Anyways,
Florida?
I know I ain't trying to take over your show and stay on your show forever. I got so comfortable. I started seeing my people in the chat, reading all
It's
the comments.
all good. It's all good. It's all good.
He said that down in Cali, Florida has a lot of good produce. When I visit my friends in Florida, it's like their bananas even take. And I don't even like bananas like that, but their bananas be really good.
They fruit good. Florida, you can also find like different fruit in Florida that we don't have here.
Because I had never heard of plantain. Had you? I never heard of plantain.
Hmm.
You know, that's like a fried banana. They eat a lot
Yeah.
of plantain in Jamaica.
They oranges taste different in Florida. They oranges, man, great.
He said they my people now. I tell you. I don't know what he's talking about. Yo, money, I don't
Uh,
even know what you're talking about.
you said you see your people in the chat, so he's saying they his people now. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
she
Yeah,
says
go ahead, Miss T.
She says they are sweet chocolate. You would like them. Yeah, Florida has a lot of good food. I'm gonna tell you what Florida had do that I don't mess with. Because I was shocked when I saw they have pickled eggs. Now I buy a big jar of pickles. I'm talking about like the big pickles because I like sour pickles. Because I'm old school. I still buy the big pickles and put a peppermint in them, like when we was younger. But I don't mess with no pickled eggs. I had never seen that. I have never even seen that in the stores in our area.
I've seen them before.
Ugh, it looked nasty. A pickled egg.
Oh, they eat them. Like just going out of town, you will see the different foods. Like I'll be telling them, I done said it before. I feel like Cali got the worst food to me.
Why you say that?
It's because it's a lot of. It's to be honest, when you go to Cali, well, when I was there, I ran into a lot of those Ethiopian spots, or it wasn't. I'm used to Southern food, so a lot of their food you really have to get used to eating too. Or you have to know somebody, or it's just gonna be fast food, where you just trying to go to a nice restaurant. A lot of it is shit to me was like coming like vegan food.
Mm-hmm.
I had got to a point where what's the name of that place that Rick Ross used to be a part of? Wingstop.
Mm-hmm.
Where Wingstop was the best chicken out there. I mean, that ain't we don't really care for Wingstop here.
Right.
and or either one of them a chicken and waffle spot. But other than that, I ain't really find no cat. Like
I
I was
think
eating
that out
same thing.
there, their food is probably under seasoned because a lot of them are kind of a lot of people from out of
Self
California is
washing.
more on a health kick or something like that. Their food be
Right,
under seasoned.
right, right. So I ain't really care for Cali food.
He said he eats South Memphis Market chicken. Where's South Memphis Market at?
I want to say it's on Third and South Park, or now that's Memphis best, Memphis, Memphis. I don't know. I've been to Denver. I went to Denver. Yeah, yeah. They air quality different for sure, for sure. I went there for my birthday a couple years ago, and they got Denver the prettiest city I ever been to. In actuality, this shit just nice up there.
But don't it be cold all the time?
Yeah, I went up there for my birthday in January. It was cold, but it was just nice. It ain't that type of cold though. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it really not that type of cold. It was cold, but I could see where when that sun come out, like it was straight though. It wasn't overly cold, and I was there in January. It wasn't overly cold. No, it wasn't that bad. Hell nah. It was a good breath of fresh air. To be honest, Miss Smith, it was a good breath of fresh air. Like January, January. I
Mm.
enjoyed it though. I enjoyed Denver.
I've known people to from Memphis to move to Denver, and they said they'd never want to come back.
No, I mean, especially if you got something going on for a job, it's beautiful up there, but the cost of living, it take a little money. Take a little money if you living up there.
But they said there's a lot of jobs and stuff up there, though. Because people, I guess they think about I don't want to live in the cold, so they say it's a lot of jobs up there in Denver that pay pretty good.
I can see that, like I said, with the cost of living, I,
Mm-hmm.
it was being jobs up there that pay very well. But I still probably wouldn't want to go up there by myself. I would want to let's tag team unless I was just trying to relocate for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it take a pretty little penny I can see living up there, especially like where I was at, especially just traveling around. I think everything I saw was nice, so I was impressed. I ain't gonna lie, I was impressed. Then it bud good, it's friendly. I ain't even lying. They 420 friendly. They ain't tripping. It was just nice.
I think
Nice.
my next vacation spot is gonna be, and I'm probably gonna do it next year. I think I'm gonna go to Alaska. And don't you know, I started doing my research recently because I was like, I'm going to Alaska, and they were saying Alaska is like in the top 10 as far as crime. But I guess I have to go to Alaska when they have that 6 months of daylight because I don't want to go when it's 6 months of darkness. I have to
Right.
figure out when because I don't even know how people live somewhere where it's dark for 6 months. That's depressing.
When I stayed in Seattle, I was working for this place called Span, Alaska, and I fucked around and shipped my phone to Alaska because Alaska not too far from Seattle, so we was doing business with Alaska. And I fucked around and shipped my phone to Alaska. It fell in the freight that we were shipping, and it fell off in there. And but they shipped it back though.
Oh, that was cool.
But Miss Tamara, I appreciate you coming through the platform. I do appreciate the interview. I had a good time politicking with you, chopping it up with you, learning about, your story, how you got into it, your passion. And you done met a few admirers in here. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be over there on your channel politicking. And
Okay,
yeah,
well, I enjoy being here. I gotta go and and meet my clients. So I enjoy being here.
All right, thank you for coming through, Mr. Merrill.
Okay, talk to you later.
Yes, 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 we do. Man, I appreciate y'all coming through, fooling with me too. I'm really finna check out and see what's going on with the trap queen. I don't know what's going on. She might be back to trapping. So she gotta check it out. Gotta check the trap. Gotta check the trap. Appreciate that, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate Mr. Merrill coming through one more time. Appreciate her subscribers, her viewers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hope so too. I hope she come through. Yeah. So y'all stay tuned though. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. For real. Y'all, get in the chat. I'll be coming through with the comments and shit though. Make a few calls, check the trap. Get the info. Man, I ain't on this. I ain't playing no matchmaker. I don't know Miss Tamara. Shit. She on social media. She on social media. All you gotta do, jump in the chat. Hey, you laugh, she laugh. You made her laugh. There you go. That's a star. There, go hang out in the bushes. There you go. Joy little God telling you what to do. Don't be bold and out of control. All right. Handle your business. Y'all be safe out there swimming. Make sure you put some sunscreen on. It's hot as hell. What you mean this is the second time? Second time you done made her laugh? What you mean? Man, all you gotta do is just go over there to a platform. Yeah, you might. You gotta. It's hot out there. I gotta be careful. Pretty sure it's a damn heat advisory going on. Real, real. It's definitely hot out there. I better move it smooth. Everybody trying to get out. Trying to get out. I ain't got no salt on you, nigga. I have no salt on you. I have no salt on you, bro. I ain't the matchmaker. That shit crazy. I ain't got no salt on you. I just gave you a rich back. I have no salt. I ain't throw no. I ain't throw no salt. I said to just get out of yourself, B. I ain't throw no salt. I'm telling you, go to a channel. You're on social media. I don't have a. I asked her about an interview through a chat. I wasn't in the bushes, bro. I was, in the chat. Asked her about an interview. We talked back. So, there you go. They gave you a mouthful, man. Don't jump on later on. But I appreciate y'all fucking with me. Uh, Stay posted. I'm gonna let y'all know about the but Saturday every time y'all say something about me, he wanna mentor my image. Uh, man, y'all got bullshit going on. That's what I'm saying. That's all y'all. I've been told y'all to chill out. I don't know what to do. You see what I'm saying? I don't really know what to do. One moment y'all say y'all cool, it ain't this, it ain't this. I tell y'all to chill out. I done seen where you go in here. I don't know where y'all got too much bullshit going on for the check. I seen it when we interviewing each other. I want to say I can't take y'all nowhere. Y'all always crank up. I don't know who started. he said, he said, he needs to call me. I don't know who started this shit. What's the meeting about, bro? Go ahead. What's the meeting about? What's the meeting about? I'm trying to check out the trap point. What the that shit funny though. What the meeting about? Y'all both be on bullshit. It's always y'all two. It ain't never nobody else. It's always y'all two. Y'all just take off on y'all own look. Back and forth. I'm saying the issue is that y'all both on bullshit. The man feel like he played from way back. I get he can't let this shit go. But then y'all still be both throwing shots at each other. You know what I'm saying? So what y'all both on? What y'all both on? Y'all both been talking about drop the location, all this, all that. What y'all both on, bro? Y'all both with the shit. Y'all both keyboard when y'all ain't gotta be. That's just the ism, the biggest ism. Talk about that. Don't type slow. Y'all both bullshit on it. Y'all both be in the comment bullshit. Period. Y'all ain't trying to get no understand. Man, shit, y'all done said all type of shit about each other on this chat. Trying to see what the problem is. What Guala? Guala gone there? He gone, he ain't got no comment. So when I be, you know what I'm talking about, be talking about a subject, y'all be at it. So what Guala is? That man serious about this shit. He done blew up his teeth. He feeling some type of way. That man say he trying to blame his image. He said, youngster gonna put me in the trunk. So that's how it started. That's how it started today. That's how it started today, right? Youngster Goon put you in the trunk. And then what did you say back? I'm just trying to see what did you say back. Ain't nobody that was taking the high road. You know, allow to grow legs when you really entertain the shit. You see what I'm saying? Ain't now one of y'all got y'all image up. You see what I'm saying, bro? Just let this shit roll out. Don't entertain it. You know you don't really want no issue with it, bro. Don't even entertain. That's the best. That's the best. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. If I look back and think about it, I feel like y'all both done been on bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Trolling though. Trolling. That's still. Don't nobody want to do that shit all day though. You don't get it. Trolling. Y'all done this shit done got out of hand. Y'all done been trolling to the point that I done both told y'all both to chill. See, you look at it how you look at it. You look at it how you look at it. Ain't no understanding it. Trolling is hate. Shit, that's just a different word. Trolling is hate. That's the real thing. Trolling is hate, bro. Anytime you going out your way to say something about a nigga, poking at him, saying shit you ain't got to say, that's hate. Can't stretch the goal, folks, and make it work for you. That's what I'm saying. I done told both of y'all stand down. Meaning I done saying you entertaining the bullshit, he entertained. I'm pretty sure bro ain't always came and they trying to say something about you. He just called it trolling. I done told y'all plenty of time chill out though, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who started. I've been at y'all with y'all cool. This, and that. I don't know who started. I don't keep up with this shit. I be trying to do a, you know, whoop, and I always see y'all too. So I don't know who started. I feel like y'all need to come to an understanding, man. Y'all need to come to it. It's always y'all. That what this lady talking about. That's why she ain't gonna want to. Y'all gonna be in the comment talking about what y'all want to talk about. Uh, ain't no telling what y'all might say. Y'all get to going on each other. Why y'all shouldn't even comment after one another. You see what I'm saying? That's another way to deflect in the shit, bro. Y'all shouldn't even comment another after another comment. What I'm saying. That could stop the fraud. Somebody gotta be the bigger man, bro. Somebody gotta be the bigger man. See what I'm saying? Because from my point of view, bro, y'all both on the board. Y'all both on the board. So that's my standpoint, man. Y'all both on the bullshit, bro. Gotta holler at Guala. I gotta holler at each other. Y'all both on the bullshit. Y'all gotta come to some agreement. Stop trolling. Stop trolling each other. That's what I'm saying. Stop trolling. Stop coming. Stop interacting with them. Feel like it should have died down. Open up the door though. Open up the door. You can invite this shit in, man. For real, for real. But check it out though, man. I'm finna get up out this motherfucker. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna pick out that boy. The trap queen come through, man. I'm gonna let y'all know. Let y'all know. Man, shit, nothing, Jay. I'm finna really hop up off this jump before for prize picks. Man, I ain't tapped into it like that though. I ain't tapped in for sure. Man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ain't good to get on the internet and troll, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't got no chill with it. That's what I had to learn. See though, even when you ain't really considering it, you gotta mind. You gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold. It's as simple as that. Shit ain't the game. It's internet really is. It's cool, but it ain't the place to be going back and forth every day, all day. Come on, man. That shit take energy. I don't want it. For sure. Go out and get your money on. I'm gone, y'all. I appreciate y'all fucking with me. Though. I'm finna get out of here, though, man. Off day, so, got a little time. I don't be on here, but when I be on here, I be on it. So, here's what it is. Appreciate y'all, though. Y'all make sure y'all jump in the comments, go back, rewatch it, jump in the comments. Top of it. Shout out to all the moderators.